What if Jon Jones had taken everything seriously outside the cage? Not just sometimes, not just when the cameras were on, but all the time. Because if that had happened, we might be talking about the most untouchable legacy MMA has ever seen. Jon Jones already feels like a glitch in the sport. He became the youngest UFC champion ever at just 23 years old. His only official loss is still a disqualification in a fight he was dominating. And even now, his resume still feels almost unreal. That is exactly why the question is so haunting. Because Jon Jones was never just great. He looked like the kind of fighter who could have owned an entire era so completely that the debate would barely exist. Inside the cage, he often looked inevitable. But outside it, the story kept breaking. That is what makes Jon Jones one of the biggest what-ifs in combat sports history. And this isn't because he failed as a fighter, but because he still achieved so much while leaving the feeling that even more was possible. He won the title young. He built fear. He looked like a champion with no obvious ceiling. And still, the outside chaos kept interrupting the story. The title was stripped. Momentum was broken. The debate kept getting interrupted by controversy. And that is where the alternate version of Jon Jones becomes fascinating. Because imagine removing the interruptions. Imagine no self-inflicted damage to the legacy. No long breaks. No constant feeling that the story had to stop every time it reached another peak. What would that version of Jon Jones look like? Probably more fights, more title defenses, more momentum, more mythology. And maybe that is the biggest thing Jon Jones lost. Not only time, not only activity, not only momentum, but the power of absolute simplicity. A simple legacy is powerful. The kind where people say your name and immediately picture greatness without hesitation. Jon Jones never fully got that, even though, in pure fighting terms, he had the talent to earn it. And that is why this question hits so hard. Because Jon Jones still became legendary. So if that version of him could already achieve all of that while carrying chaos behind him, what would the fully disciplined version have looked like? Maybe fewer debates, maybe a cleaner reign, maybe a legacy so overwhelming that nobody would even try to complicate it. So what if Jon Jones had never wasted any of it? Maybe we would not be asking what could have been. We would only be talking about what was, and it might have been the most complete legacy the sport has ever seen.